And it is Monday morning. Welcome back to Breakthrough with Lew, guys. It is time to have your Monday morning dose of coaching. Are we ready to rock and roll this week or what? There's so much crap going on in the world right now. I'm going to talk to you this morning about taking control. About taking control of the things you can take control of. We can't control this out of control media. We can't take control of terrorist groups. We can, but not personally. Not, you and I aren't going to jump out this morning and go squash any of the terrorism going on in the world today. We can't take control of people who are freaked out, and every time they turn around, there's got to be something to fight about, or there's got to be something to complain about or victimize about, or, every time you turn around, there's a new problem and it's going to kill the country and ruin the world and everybody's dying. And yes, people are dying every day. People are so focused on the negative right now that we are absolutely losing control. Not only are we losing control as individuals, as communities, as a nation, as a world, it is totally out of control right now. So what I'm going to teach you this morning is how to take control of your world, the inner you, so that all of this outside out of control and this frenzy and this media overblowing and the everybody's got to be a victim and everybody's got to be entitled and everybody's got to be on one side or the other. How about taking control of you first, your emotions and everything else in your world? And the more everybody gets themselves under control and starts to decide what they let in information-wise, decide what they're going to believe, decide what they're going to spew out of their mouths and on their news feeds, and think twice before you do it, we might find a much faster resolution to everything we're dealing with. As all of a sudden the rioting starts to fade off a little bit, next thing you know, COVID's back with a vengeance. Cut it out, people. We can't take another run on the businesses. We can't take another shutdown of everything because of a media frenzy. Do you take your precautions? Do you live smart? Do you do things right? Heck yeah. But first off, you got to learn how to take control of you, your emotions. Let me ask you a question. Are you really in control of your life right now? Do you get up when you want to get up? And I mean get up because you want to get up, not because, oh my God, I got to get up and hurry up and get out of the house and get to a job I don't like, or get to, go get the kids, well, you're not getting the kids to school right now, normally, because I got to rush and get the kids to school, or we got baseball games, or we got this or that going on. Are you doing it because you want to? Are you really in control of your life, your emotions, your day, your finances, your business? Or is it totally spinning out of control? And if the question is, if your answer is it's totally spinning out of control and you feel overwhelmed and you just feel like the world's coming to an end in that, let's ask why that is. Why are you feeling that you're out of control in life? If you feel like you're in control in life, what are you doing to give yourself that feeling of, I'm in control of this? What are you doing? What are those moments that you go, I've really got this. I'm in control of this. This is awesome. This is amazing. What does that feel? What is that like to you? Right? You with me on this? Okay. So that's awesome. Let's step up and get in control. Let me ask you a question. What are the areas of your life that you feel like you are in control of? Are you in control of your finances? Are they good? Are you on top of your finances right now? If so, that's awesome. Are you in control of your family? I mean, are your kids doing what they're supposed to be doing? Do you have a great relationship because it's a team effort and you've got that passion in your relationship? Or is that out of control? So what are you in control of? What are the areas of your life that you're in control of? And you know what? Do this little exercise with me. Get out a sheet of paper and write it down. Make a column right down the middle, in control, out of control. And let's start writing it down. What are you in control of? How the finances doing? How's business doing? How's your job doing? Do you feel like you're out of control? Do you feel like you're oppressed by your boss? Or do you feel like you're a great boss? Do you feel like, oh, you're unemployed and it's out of your control? No, 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 never. Let me tell you something. If you want to work, you want to work. I'll use an example. A young man came into us for a job not too long ago. And I said to him, are you currently working? And he's a hotshot. He's a good kid. And his shoulders hunched over and he says, yes, sir, I'm doing day labor kind of thing in between. And I was like, hey, I commend you. And all of a sudden you saw him kind of pull his shoulders back up and he was like, wow, oh, somebody commends that I'm doing day labor. And I'm like, yeah, because you know what? You're not sitting back victimizing yourself saying, oh, there's no jobs or I can't work. Yeah, you're out here trying to find something better. And, he walked into the door to something better. And so far, so good. He's, good worker. But it told me a lot about the young man at that point where I was like, okay, even though it wasn't his dream job to work day labor, he's not going backwards or just sitting there with an excuse. This is the kind of people we want on our team right here. So are you in control of that type of situation? Heck yes, you are. You might not feel like you're in total control because you got to do something you might not really want to do. But guess what? You got to. You got to step up and take control. In a relationship, are you feeling like, oh, if I speak up for myself, this is going to end? Well, then that's the wrong relationship. Are you in control of it? You don't want to be controlling, but you want to control what you bring to the relationship. You don't want to come in, in one day or be that person where, when you walk through the door, your spouse, significant other's going, oh man, I don't know what kind of mood he or she's going to be in today. No, if you're in control of yourself and your own emotions, you're going to show up and you're going to help control the outcome in a positive way. Not to be controlling in a relationship, but to control how you show up. So what are the areas you're in control of? Write them down on that left column. Now let's get into the right column. And unfortunately, right now, in the way things are and the way people's attitudes and mindsets are, you might find that this column is bigger than the one you're in control of. What are the areas you are not in control of? Ooh, this is a sticky one. What do you feel out of control? What areas of your life do you feel you are not in control of? Wow. Ooh, this one's a sticky one, right? All right, so write them down in that right column. Remember, if you're just tuning in, on the left, where you have a left column, writing down what are the areas of your life that you are in control of. On the right column, you're writing what are the areas of your life that are out of control. Now, we're not talking about the general world right now. We know a lot of stuff is out of control. I'm talking about in your life and you taking control of the aspects of your life. Left column, what are the areas in your life that you're very much in control of, and right column, what you're not. Now that you have that list made, look at both columns and go, okay, the ones I'm in control of, as opposed to the ones I'm not in control of, put a little check mark next to the ones that are directly affected by you taking control of them in both columns, and circle the ones that outside factors may have played more of a part in, and realize that some things in the world you just can't control. There are some things you cannot stop. Death of a loved one, yeah, if you get in your car and you put your kids in the back and you decide you're going to text and drive down I-4 with your kids and you get in a car accident and you kill one of your kids, man, that you definitely, controlled that outcome. But if you're tooling along doing what you're supposed to do and you got your kids in the car and some idiot runs a red light because they were texting, that kind of was out of your control. So being as such, you realize that some things are outside of your realm of controlling your own emotions, controlling your own focus and your own actions. So those are the ones with circles around them on this list. that you go, okay, now how do I work with that? I can't really control that. You can't control, financial changes in a company, and you might get downsized, but you certainly control what you do with that. A lot of people have lost their jobs. I drive up and down the street right now, and I see all these companies, these small businesses that closed. Well, people say, I don't care about that. I'm getting unemployment. Well, you better care about that, because when your unemployment runs out, you're going to turn around and have to go back and go, oh, that company I worked for that I just didn't want to go back to work because I said I wasn't comfortable going back to work, they're gone. Now what are you going to do? Now you got to take control of that and figure out, okay, I had a free ride for a little while. Now it's time to take control again because it's gone. So the outside factors you can't control, you got to learn how to control the way you deal with that. And the things you can control, step up and do it. How do you take control? You change your focus. Okay? If you get up each day and you get right on Facebook and you start going, oh, those son of a bitches, they said something I don't like. And let's fight, and they got to see it my way, and ba. Guess what? Your focus is on the wrong thing, number one. Number two, you're letting somebody else take control. The minute somebody else says, does, etc., affects your life directly, especially if it doesn't affect your life directly, you're giving them control. A lot of people are up in arms about the Seattle situation. I got a personal feel of that. If any other terrorist group took over a section of a city, they would immediately be handled by the local PD, by the military, whatever. And, but a lot of people are freaking out like it's in our city. And I'm like, okay, if you can't do something about it, if you're not going to do something productive about it, stop walking around like you're in the middle of that war zone. Okay? Same thing with stuff going on in other countries. Oh my God, this is unjust. This is horrible. People are taking on, they live their whole day going, in XYZ country, people are treated like this. And you would think that person themselves is being treated like that. Now, if they're doing something to raise awareness and help somebody, that's great. But if they're just sitting there taking it on like it's controlling them because they saw it on the news today, and either step in, take control, and do something to help if there's a need, or don't let it overwhelm you like it's happening to you. You see where I'm going with this? So change your focus. Focus on the things that you can make a difference in. Number one, yourself. You've got to focus on, what am I bringing to the table? As a spouse in a relationship, as a boss in a company, as an employee in a company, as a parent, as a sibling, as a community leader, as a politician. What are you bringing? What are you bringing to the table for the good of others? Okay, so this is where we got a lot of issues with politics too. If it serves me first as a politician, then I'll do something to combat the situations. And you see what happens there is greed takes over. So change your focus to what it is you really want to focus on and what you really want. You want to take control of something? Jump in, rock and roll. If you can't jump in and do something about it, and you can't control it, maybe you need to shield yourself from it. So I'm going to give you some steps on taking control and taking back control of your emotions. Number one, take a news diet. If the first thing you do is click on CNN, Fox, CBS, whatever in the morning, and you're going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you are going to be stressed out to the max every day with stuff that is not directly affecting you today. Do you need to be aware of things going on? Yes, but you need to be aware of factual. Yesterday, within 5 minutes, there were 2 major announcements about a huge corporation. One was an attack on them, boycott them because they're doing XYZ, and the other was they are doing something for the greater good to stop all the tensions. And it's like, well, which is it? And I had to honestly say in discussion, I don't know. Both of these pop-ups on Facebook looked so real and everybody's spreading the word. And I'm going, these are two totally different actions. It's the opposite. Either they're doing one or they're doing the other. But I realized all of a sudden I can't determine this because I'm all ready to go, oh, this is wrong or this is the right way to handle it. And I'm like, hold on. Two very credible looking news feeds here saying two totally opposite things. They couldn't be doing both at once, put it that way. And I'm not going to get into the logistics of it because then everybody's going to want to piss and moan and fight over it again. But I was like, all right, I've got to find out more facts. So there's where I take control. Before I decide what this means, and before I make a decision whether I'm interested in doing business with this company any longer or not because of what they're doing, I need to know what they're really doing or not doing. But see, half of the people that saw one thing are going to go, ah, or yay, and the other half are going to go, ah, or yay. Which one's factual? See, this is where you need to take a news diet. I guarantee you, if you take out the news for 7 days, do this challenge with me till next Monday, don't watch the news. Because, one station's reporting COVID's up and people are dying in the streets, which I haven't seen any bodies in the streets. And another station is like, nope, everything's great. Everybody's open. Everybody's doing good. Which is it? Probably a little in between. There's people dying every day and there's people that get sick with everything every day. This frustrates me because, some folks that we know well have all lost family members. There's been a few losses in the past few weeks. And not a single one of them would be reported on the news. Very tragic, a couple of them young. But it doesn't serve an agenda, so they're not newsworthy. Well, these families still lost somebody. But nobody cares. Nobody's going to, oh my God, poor so-and-so, let's jump in and help them as a community because they lost a person in their family who was, went way too young. And it had nothing to do with COVID. None of these were COVID, anythings. But you'll never see anybody put anything out about that. You'll never see a news station go, hey, guys, let's create a GoFundMe because this young person left behind 3 children and they were taken tragically. No. Oh, no, that's not newsworthy. Or somebody recovered from something. Let's celebrate that. We never see in the news, hey, Joe Smith recovered from cancer. And if your name's Joe Smith, please don't go, oh, you used my name. He recovered and let's celebrate this. And, let's take a moment of prayer or a moment of minute of peace to celebrate this person beat a disease or this person. No, all you're going to see is the negative. So this is why I'm saying take a news diet. The negative sells for the news. But if we start sending a message to the advertisers of these news channels and all these advertisers of these really way out there people that have all these millions of dollars in advertising money paid to them, if we start saying, if you don't report more accurately and stop the terrorism, and I'm sorry, but mass fear is terrorism, whether it's your media, whether it's a government agency, whether it's a specific group, whenever you spread fear, it's terrorism. That's the baseline meaning of terrorism is spreading mass fear, and that's what the media is doing on all levels right now. So take a 7-day news diet till next week with me and clean your feed. All right, we all love Facebook. You're probably watching me on Facebook. And this is something positive. I would hope you find this something positive, that I'm not trying to get on and go, oh, look what's going on, and this bad person and that bad person and all this fighting. I'm going, let's find a solution. Let's take control of our own emotions, number one. Number two, start taking back control of what's going on around us and stop being pushed and shoved and herded in this world, as opposed to taking control of yourself. Clean out your feed. If you open up your news feed on Facebook and the first thing you see is this group is fighting that group and this is this and this matters and this doesn't and you matter and I don't and I matter and you don't, we all matter. Let's face it, we're all human beings, guys. And if you don't think that way and you don't think that your fellow American matters and you think you're more important than the next one, get the hell out of this country. You don't belong here if you feel that, one life is more valuable than another. If you feel that a baby is less valuable than an adult, or an adult is less valuable than a baby, or it depends on the color of your skin, that's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. If you got to sit there and say only my group matters, yeah, you're really not going to ever solve anything. If you start going, you know what, it all matters. Let's get it under control. We live in the best times ever, and in the best country ever. Let me tell you something. If you go to another country and you burn the flag of that country, they'll behead you in many countries. Try going to Cuba and pulling a stunt like that. You won't see the light of day next morning. I'm sorry, but that is a truth. Try to do that in Iran. And I've got friends that'll tell you that. My God, you rise up against the government there, you got to watch your family killed in the street. That's not happening here, guys. We got the freedom, and I support your freedom to voice your opinion, but don't gag my opinion. That's what I always say. If there's two groups and they don't see eye to eye, red and blue, we have let's look at our politicians. If they don't see eye to eye, they still have a right to say what they feel. They don't have a right to inaccurately attack, create things that aren't there. That I will say. You can't always be, and I'll say it, constant attacks at our president. Oh my God, he must have done this. Oh, he grabbed a lady's butt. Oh, well, it's better than grabbing a child's butt. Enough of that. Facts. Stick to the facts. Let's stick to the facts of taking control of our own emotions, taking back control of our country, and getting ourselves back to being in charge of living our lives and growing rather than sitting there on your feed. This is why I say clean your feed. Oh my God, I don't like what this person said. F you, this, that, the other. You're stupid. You're red. You're blue. Enough. Okay? Clean out your feed. If stuff on there agitates you and you end up in these 2-hour debates, you've lost 2 hours of your life. Take control of it. If somebody's really out of control on your feed and really upset you that much, block. Bye-bye. I don't care what side of what fence you're on, etc. Get it out of there. Take control of what you're pouring into here, and you will find your life infinitely gets better. Decide what your life stands for. What is most important to you? And you might go, I really don't know at this point, or I'm seeking that, or da-da-da. Ask yourself one question. Ask it 7 times. Go that 7 levels deep. What do I stand for in life? Do I stand for hating and just wanting to be right and to win the argument? Or do you stand for wanting to get back to life going forward where everybody has opportunity based on their effort levels? Based on them taking advantage of opportunity. There's so much opportunity out here, and this has never been, people are like, oh, well, I can't because of I'm this, I'm that. No, there's always a this or that or I'm a that absolutely rises to the top. There's people that have endured horrible childhoods that rise to the top and help people and become great leaders. And then there's people that have had horrible childhoods and they're smoking crack and dealing dope on the corner. And then there's the people that were born into a very affluent family, and the parents didn't want to have the kids make the same mistakes they did. This is the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make, guys. You want to do this in parenting, you want to do something, you're an entrepreneur, you grew up the hard way, you had to make your way, you get going and you build up a business finally, and you're going, oh my God, it was, I went through hell to do this, and maybe I made some mistakes and I did some stupid things when I was young. And then you want your kids not to ever make the same mistakes you did. And if you sit back and realize some of the mistakes you made were the best learning experiences you could have ever had, but yet you don't want the kids to make the same mistakes you did. Now, yeah, I'm a parent. I get it. I don't want the kids to make some of the mistakes I made, or I want to share some insights with them that'll make it easier. I sit there and go, why won't they just listen to me? I get that, but you've got to, as a parent, realize that what you endured and what made you grow is going to make you grow. to sit there and go, okay, I'm going to provide, I didn't have a cell phone when I was a kid, and computers and this, that, and, barely had enough to eat, and, we bah, 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 and now it's like, okay, what do you want, kid? Oh, you want a prime rib and steak and shrimp and lobster? Here, let me deliver it to your computer and let you just sit there and don't miss a beat on your game. And oh, don't worry, we'll hire somebody to clean and mow the lawn. And don't worry, you're 25 years old and you can still live at home, and we're going to pay your car insurance, and you don't have to pay anything to live here. Just, maybe you'll get a job when you're 30. And no, you're going to make a totally entitled brat of an adult. It doesn't mean you put the kids through boot camp every minute of the day and blah, blah, blah. What it does mean is you teach them the value of taking control for themselves. You want a car? Go get a job. You can't get a job because you don't have a car? Well, figure out a way to start doing your own little thing, even if it's on the computer or mowing your neighbor's lawn, to start putting the money together for that car. It's like people who go woo-woo, I'm going to focus on it. The secret is to envision the Lamborghini in the driveway, and I'm going to sit here in the room and put my arms out and go deliver it to me. Well, probably chances are that's not going to happen. Now, you may end up with that Lamborghini out there, but there's going to be some effort and work. Now, you got to have that vision first. I agree. If you don't envision it and you don't have that why and that thing to go for, you're not going to have a Lamborghini. If you want a Lamborghini and you go, oh, I'd kind of like to have one, that's never going to happen. If you focus on it like it's already there, that's step one. Then you got to take action. Double the action that you ever think you'd need to take. If you take 2 times, 10 times the action that you think is required, guess what? You're going to get your outcomes, and probably tenfold. But those are my points to, we all tend to, especially entrepreneurs, my God, we don't want the kids to ever endure what we did coming up and building these businesses and everything else. And we're cheating them out of the growth. Or your business partners, or your spouses, or whoever you're mentoring. It might not be your kids. It might be your staff. Oh, I don't want them to have to work as hard as we do because we're the owners. We're supposed to work harder. Okay. Maybe not such a smart idea, because you're supposed to be a business owner, not just a business operator. Now, I don't go on the mindset of you just put your business on autopilot and ignore it while you go put your feet up and take pictures of your toes and put it on Facebook while your business is running at a moderate clip because you're not there to participate. What I am saying is you raise up a crew and a team that when you're not there, your business can still deliver the same as it would if you were there, but you got to be there at times. But you can walk away from it for small periods of time and allow it to function. Same thing with your children. You can't spoon feed them, guys. If you spoon feeding them when they're teenagers and 20s and, so worried that you're going to offend them or, hurt their feelings if you have to discipline them, oh my God. Lack of discipline is a lot of the issues the world's having today. Nobody has the discipline to step up and do what has to be done and do it right and do it with integrity. I shouldn't say nobody, but that group is shrinking. The people that have the integrity and go, you know what, I'm going to do it the same way when nobody's looking as I would if somebody were watching directly over me. I'm still going to do the best job possible. I'm still going to do it the right way. That's what taking control is all about. You got me on this? All right. What are you willing to do today to take control? Are you willing to weed the feed? Are you willing to get rid of the things on your news feed you don't want to see? I'm so sick of seeing COVID-19, and all the warnings and you're rude if you don't wear a mask, and if you wear a mask, you're a puss. I'm so sick of seeing everybody fighting over it. Anything that involves COVID-19, I'm blocking it. I'm dumping it. I don't want to hear it. Okay, enough is enough, because that is a tactic that is doing nothing but more separation in the country. Let's separate people racially. Let's separate them emotionally. Let's separate them physically and distancing. Let's make sure people don't have sex. It's, oh God, that might kill you. Well, remember AIDS? Yeah. Wow. That was a time where, people were going, okay, you can do it, but do it safely or do that. You see the difference. Everything is designed for separation right now. So taking control of your focus is going to help you bring us all back as a nation, as a community, as opposed to separating more. There are people that would be happy to see us separate because they will gain massively from separation and from stuff like that. You band back together and go, you know what, this is America, we're Americans, there is no other law than the laws of our nation. You're not exempt from the law, anybody. Okay, if you're damaging and stealing during a protest, that's no different than damaging and stealing when there's no protest. You have the right to be heard. We have freedom of speech, but that does not give anybody the right to violence or any other damage. We have a right to bear arms. Doesn't mean you go randomly doing stupid stuff, because you can, but you got to protect your rights. And that's what taking control is about. Even if I don't agree with your view, I protect your right to have that view. Please do the same for me if you don't agree with my view. And the minute we do that, we go, okay, well, there's some common ground. Doesn't matter anything else in the world, what our opinions are or anything else. If we go, okay, I respect your right to voice your opinion, and hey, you know what? I respect your right too. All of a sudden you have something in common, and you go, okay, we have something in common here, and that is your right to have control over your own life. Wow, what a noble concept. It's pretty easy, guys. So what are you willing to do to take control? Are you willing to weed out the feed? Are you willing to take that news diet for a week? Are you willing to go on a diet of everything you post on your social media to be positive? Something that would enlighten two sides of a bad story? And go, both people could go, well, okay, it makes a little bit of sense. Maybe this other person's not so bad, and maybe I'm not so bad. And, we do have 3 or 4 things in common. We might have 97 others that we don't see eye to eye, but we do have a couple things in common. Oh, we do have a common goal, and that's let's get back to work and get this country going, and have some prosperity so people aren't starving out and starting to have to do things that they morally wouldn't normally. But well, I'm shut down, I'm locked in, I can't work, my business failed. That doesn't promote healthy growth, right? So let's start taking control and promoting healthy regrowth. We need to recover, heal, and grow in this country, guys. So anybody who's with me on that, I'd love some comments and commentary. And, if somebody wants to be a guest on the show, I would love that as well. And we're about out of time for this morning. So taking control. Ask these questions. Are you really in control of your life? What areas are you in control of? What areas are you not in control of? Of those areas, what can you control? Of those areas, what are out of your control that you cannot control? You cannot control certain things. They're outside factors, but you can control the meaning they have to you by changing your focus. Take a news diet for a week with me. Clean out your feed. If anybody's totally radical that makes you just want to explode when you see the crap they're posting, no matter what side of whatever you're on, clean it out. Don't look at it. Don't participate in it. Because you know what? It's like a child's temper tantrum. They throw a temper tantrum. You yell at them. They throw more of a temper tantrum. It gets worse, and they're screaming and bawling and F-bombing you back when they get big enough. You know what? Take control of that. Clean it out. You know what? Kid, go to your room. Don't come out for 5 hours. You'll learn. You'll learn to talk back to your parent or whatever. Take the situation, diffuse it, get out of it. If somebody's totally ridiculous, or you're seeing things on your news feed that are offensive to you, either say something gently to that person, say, hey, you know what, I really don't want to see this much nastiness, or block or snooze or whatever you got to do with that person if it's upsetting you. Decide what you stand for in life, and what you stand for is not your way or the highway. What you stand for has to be something for the greater good of everybody. And that is not just you, whatever party, whatever race, whatever your name is, wherever you were born. That has nothing to do with that. Decide what you stand for that works and is good for everybody. Not that your way is the particular good, but look at everything and go, okay, this would benefit me. This would benefit who I'm working with. How can I benefit the people that don't see it my way in a way that brings everybody closer? How can everybody benefit from something? And it doesn't mean you have to agree on everything and become drones in an androgynous society where, men are women and women are men and men are men and men are women and women and we don't know and there's no differences. Guys, let me tell you something. That's what makes relationships work. I'm going to close out with this today. Men have a certain being and essence to them. Women have a certain essence. That's the way God, or however you call your creator, created us. Doesn't mean they're unequal. Does mean that there are different roles that people are better at. Now, there are women who are much more powerful in a relationship on the business aspects, and there are guys that are a little more homemakery, and vice versa. Doesn't make them any worse or better or anything else. But in a normal situation, there are certain attraction points that men have that women like and women have that men like. So in a relationship, you've got and there are other relationships too, but it's got to be the masculine, feminine to make it bind. It's like picture magnets. If you take and you put two negatives together, they're going to push each other apart. If you put positive and negative, bam, you've got a glued relationship. And it doesn't mean that every relationship, everybody has the exact same role, that the man, wears work boots to go to work and the lady stands home in the kitchen and cooks all day. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that polarity where the attraction is there. Because if there's no attraction there, the relationship will fail. And the attraction is really by the differences in the relationship more than the commonalities. The commonalities got to be there to make sure that there's any magnet there. But it's the differences that make a difference. Some girls like it when her guy burps, and it makes him a man. He's a manly man. He burps and goes "Rrr." And most guys wouldn't like their girlfriend going "Blah," like they're going to puke their guts out every time they eat at dinner. They'd be like, ugh, grr, yeah, that don't work, baby. See, that's what I'm saying. Now, some people might. That might be the reverse, and it works for them. But what I'm saying is you see the differences there where, armpit hair, and at least in the United States, most women really could care less if a man's got some armpit hair. Most men care if a woman has armpit hair or shaves their legs, and most women would not go for a man that shaves his legs. You see where I'm going with this. There's got to be that polarity. It doesn't mean that, if you're in a relationship, maybe your wife doesn't like to shave her legs and you like that and you shave yours and she likes that, and it doesn't make either one of you any different but it works for you guys. But it is a norm. You see where I'm going with this. You need that attraction, which is oftentimes by some of the opposites. So to make a androgynous society where everybody's just like one another and all we do is communicate by cell phones, and we put our kids in cubes and bubbles at school and they can't play, and that will destroy a society. We are social beings. And here we are in another wave of all of a sudden people are really trying to shove the COVID thing at you, and you're going, thought we were past that. So maybe we need that alien invasion, as people are saying on Facebook, and that annoys me. It's like, oh my God, seriously? Don't give anybody any ideas, because that'll be the next thing. People will be seeing UFOs land in their backyard, and the War of the Worlds is happening. So the point being is take control of what you're focusing on, and by all means, take control of what you're putting out there. Look at something you want to. We all stand for something. I get it. And there's a lot to stand for right now. But before you put it out there, Are you putting it out there in a way it's going to make people dislike you? Or are you putting it out there in a way that anybody would go, you know what? I see your point. I don't necessarily agree, but I respect the way you're doing it. Take control of the way you respond. Take control of what you're viewing. If what you're viewing is ruining your day and making you into a hateful, mean, aggravated person, or it's sucking up hours of your day to sit on social media and fight with people, that's not going to work, guys. That's not going to solve anything. Take control of what you're seeing. Take control of what you're putting out there, and make sure that if you have a valid point, you're putting it so anybody could go, even though I don't agree with you, that was well put, and you will find a huge shift. You do that for 30 days, if everybody did that, all of a sudden people would start to look at each other like human beings again instead of enemies. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so taking control, guys. Get control of it. What you're doing, what you feel about it, what you're seeing. Take control of what you can control, and stop worrying about being offended, and rather try to find ways not to offend. Everybody's so worried somebody's going to offend them, but they don't really care about offending somebody else. So how about we switch some of our wording, our terminologies, our attitudes more towards, you know what, I have a right to speak. I'm going to exercise my right to speak. I'm going to do it in a way that's not hurtful, but I'm also going to do it in a way that I can say, this is what I believe. You're entitled to your beliefs, the same as I am. If you want me to respect your beliefs, please respect mine. And please respect the next guy and the next guy, and go, okay, I don't agree with you. And even if you want to debate some things a little bit and go, hey, you know what? Instead of this shit slinging on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and, you know, president's wrong, president's right, this one's wrong, this one's right. How about getting together on some Zoom calls and getting some leaders from the different communities that are interested in making a difference and going, okay, speak for a minute. Hey, everybody else, how do you feel about that? What are the good points of that? You know, what are some negatives if we don't change? How could we change things in a positive way that isn't about only serving one group, one person, that's about serving our nation as rebuild, heal, and grow? Because we need it. If we keep going, guys, all the lovely stuff that this country stands for will be gone in no time. And I don't know how else to put that. That is more than opinion. That is fact. If we don't get a handle on it as citizens, each and every one of us, we are going to find ourselves in a world where we go, shit, we should have worked this out between us, rather than had all the control that's going to happen. You want to be controlled. You want to feel like you're in prison 24/7. You want to feel like the eye in the sky is watching you. You want a government camera in your home. You want stuff like that. You want to be like some countries where people get beheaded for, you know, speaking out. You want to lose your freedom of speech, your freedom to bear arms, your freedom to raise your children the way you want to, your freedom to go to a particular job, your freedom to open a business, your freedom to take a supplement, your freedom to choose which foods you eat. You want to lose all that? Keep it up the way we're going, guys. You want to retain that, and you want to make that even better and grow our freedoms. Get your heads out of your butts and find ways to resolution. Right? You with me on this? I think this has been a valuable message today. Please share it if you think it's valuable. If you didn't think it's valuable, message me. Let's talk about it. Have a great day, guys. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. This is Coach Lew signing off from Breakthrough with Lew. Have an amazing day today.